Hello students, today is our third lecture on the plant, water and relations. In this lecture, we study the mechanism of absorption of water and the translocation of water. First point is mechanism of absorption of water and second is the translocation of water. Let's start with the mechanism of absorption of water. What is meant by absorption of water? Uptake of water means absorption of water. Here, so the diagram we show the uptake of water or water absorbed by the roots. Plant absorb water from the soil through the root hairs, and as we know, root hairs are present on the maturation zone of the root. And also we study about the water and properties of water. Water is also called elixir of any living system or the gold liquid of the life. And plant absorb water from the soil solution. And as we know, capillary water is absorbed by the plant, and plant also absorb dissolved nutrient along with the water. And now there are two mechanisms of the absorption of water. First is a active absorption and second is a passive absorption. What is meant by passive absorption? Passive absorption is a type of the mechanism of absorption of water which do not require metabolic energy. What is meant by metabolic energy? Metabolic energy means ATP. ATP molecules. Some reaction which or some mechanism which requires the ATP molecules, but in passive absorption ATP molecule do not require. Generally, passive absorption takes place along the concentration gradient. This is a diagram which show the passive absorption. Passive absorption takes place along the concentration gradient when the concentration of the cell sap, this is the cell of the root, when concentration of the cell sap is higher than the soil water, this is a soil water. Water is absorbed when the transpiration rate high or soil is dry, and due to the transpiration rate, water decrease and it create transpiring cell, and due to rapid transpiration remove water and the reduce turgor pressure in living cell of the root. And the suction force. What is meant by suction force? Suction force is, it is also known as DPD. In last lecture we discuss about the DPD. DPD is developed and it transmitted to the root xylem. Is transmitted to root xylem and it pulls water from the surrounding cell to the make up water decrease. This is about the passive absorption. Passive absorption do not require the ATP. It depend on the activity of the shoot and leaves. Shoot and leaves perform the transpiration activity. What is mean by transpiration? Transpiration means loss of water, and the rate of absorption of the passive absorption is depend on the rate of the transpiration, and it show the apoplastic movement. In last lecture we discussed about the apoplastic pathway. And next is a active absorption. It is a type of the mechanism of absorption of water which require the metabolic energy, and active absorption occurs due to the activity of the root and root hairs. This is the diagram. We show the active absorption. In active absorption, it requires the activity of root and root hairs, and it show the simplest pathway. passive absorption show the apoplastic pathway, and active absorption show the symplastic absorption or symplastic pathway. Then absorption of water occurs with the help of energy in the form of ATP, and this ATP coming from the activity of root cell such as respiration, and the absorption takes place again the concentration gradient even the when concentration of the cell sap is lower than the soil of the water. Here the concentration of the cell sap is lower than the soil water, and in passive absorption we see the concentration of the cell sap is higher than the soil water. This is a difference in between the active and passive absorption. In passive absorption, it occurs usually at the night when transpiration rate stop due to the closing of the stomata. This is a major difference. Active absorption takes place in night and passive absorption takes place in the day. Let's see the difference in between passive absorption and active absorption. Passive absorption occurs due to the activity of the shoot and leaves, and active absorption occurs due to the activity of root and root hairs. This is the first difference. Second difference is passive absorption occurs due to the transpiration. Passive absorption occurs due to the transpiration. What is meant by transpiration? Water loss from the leaves is known as transpiration, and active absorption occurs due to the osmotic and non-osmotic processes. Then third difference is the rate of absorption depend on the transpiration rate, and the active absorption, the rate of active absorption depend on the DPD. Then fourth difference is they show the apoplastic pathway, means passive absorption shows the apoplastic pathway, and in active absorption it show the symplastic pathway. What is mean by apoplastic and symplastic? First, apoplastic. In last lecture we discussed about the apoplastic and symplastic pathway. Uh, when water passes across the root through the cell wall and the intercellular space is known as apoplastic. That is means water move from the cell wall and the intercellular space is known as apoplastic pathway, and in active absorption they show the symplastic pathway. What is meant by symplastic pathway? The water passes from one living cell to other living cell through a plasmodesmata is known as symplastic pathway. The next difference is passive absorption do not require metabolic energy, that is ATP molecules, and it is a spontaneous process. Passive absorption do not require ATP molecule. Then active absorption, active absorption is require the ATP molecule. Then next difference is passive absorption occurs during the daytime. Passive absorption occurs during the daytime due to the transpiration, and active absorption occurs in night time due to the transpiration is stopped because of the closing of the stomata. And last difference, major difference, passive absorption takes place in plant about 96%, and active absorption takes place about 4%. 96% water absorption by the passive absorption, and 4% water absorption takes place by the active absorption. So major absorption or major mechanism of the absorption of water is a passive absorption. This is the difference in between active absorption and the passive absorption. Main mechanism of the water absorption, it is a passive absorption. It is depend on the activity of the shoot and leaves, and 96% of water absorption takes place by the passive absorption. Talk about the active absorption. As we know, active absorption occurs due to the activity of root and root hairs, and the active absorption occurs due to the osmotic and non-osmotic process. What is meant by osmotic and non-osmotic processes? Start from the osmotic absorption. Osmotic absorption proposed by the scientists Atkins and Priestley in 1922, and according to them, in these processes water absorbed according to osmotic gradient, and this absorption does not require directly utilization of energy. In osmotic absorption, water absorbed according to osmotic gradient, and this does not require direct utilization of energy. And second is a non-osmotic absorption. Non-osmotic absorption proposed by the Cramer and Thiamin scientists in 1959. In these processes, water absorbed according to the concentration gradient. In osmotic absorption, water absorbed according to osmotic gradient, and in non-osmotic absorption, water absorbed according to concentration gradient. And this type of absorption, it require an utilization of energy released in respiration. This is about the osmotic absorption and non-osmotic absorption. This theory proposed by the scientists Atkins and Priestley in 1922, and non-osmotic absorption theory proposed by the Cramer and Thiamin in 1959. This is a major difference in between osmotic absorption and non-osmotic absorption, in which absorption occurs due to the active absorption. Active absorption is a type of the absorption of the water. First is the root pressure theory. Root pressure theory is also known as vital theory, and scientist Priestley proposed this theory. Generally, we know ions are actively transported into the vascular tissue of the root, and all water follows potential gradient and increases pressure inside the xylem, and this type of positive pressure is called root pressure, and root pressure is responsible for the pushing water up to the xylem, and generally root pressure create or develop around the root. Root pressure occurs in the xylem of the subvascular plant when the soil moisture level is high at the night, or when transpiration is low during the day. Hydrostatic pressure is also known as root pressure. The scientist Hales proposed the term hydrostatic pressure, which is also known as root pressure. And root pressure created at the or around the root area, and the value of root pressure is +1 to +2 bar, and which is enough to pump out or pump of the water to height of 10 to 20 meters. And the factor like oxygen, moisture, temperature of soil, salt content of the soil, which affect on the root pressure. We see the root pressure theory. Ascent of sap takes place due to the root pressure theory. There are some limitations of the root pressure theory. First is it is not applicable to plant taller than the 20 meters. Second is ascent of sap can also occurs even in the absence of root system. Third is root pressure value is almost nearly zero in the taller gymnospermic plant. In actively transferring plant, no root pressure is developed. And last one, xylem sap under normal condition is under tension, that is means this shows negative hydrostatic pressure or high osmotic pressure. This is the limitation of the root pressure theory. The next theory is a capillary theory. Second is the capillarity theory or capillary theory. It is also known as physical force theory, and the scientist Boehm proposed this theory in 1863. Boehm suggests the xylem vessel behave like the capillary tube, and according to him, this capillary of the vessel and the normal atmospheric pressure are responsible for the ascent of the sap, and due to the surface tension of the liquid molecule and adhesive forces, the liquid rise up. In shortly, capillary theory is depend on the nature of the or structure of the xylem and atmospheric environment. Some limitation of this theory. First is a capillary tube, that is xylem. Xylem must be continuous and completely hollow from one end to other end. But the fractures in the xylem show closed end walls. This is the first limitation of the capillary theory. Second, the lower end of the capillary tube means xylem must be in the direct contact with the soil water. It is the second limitation of this theory. And third limitation, taller trees should show xylem vessel with a very narrow bore, but in nature it shows the wide bore. What is meant by bore? Bore means diameter. These are the some limitation of the capillarity theory. The cohesion tension theory. Cohesion tension theory is also known as transpiration pool theory, which is proposed by the scientists Dickson and Joly in 1894. It is a widely accepted theory, and this theory based on the two principles. First is the cohesion and adhesion, and second is the transpiration pool. What is meant by cohesion? Firstly, cohesion means or cohesion force means it is a strong force of attraction between water molecule, and adhesion, it is a strong force of attraction between water molecule and lignified all of the lumen of xylem. In short, cohesion means attraction in between two water molecules, and adhesion means attraction in between water molecules and the lignified all of the xylem. It's called adhesion. Then next is a transpiration pool. What is meant by transpiration pool? It is a develop in the leaf vessel which is transmitted down to root and account for the ascent of sap, means transpiration pool. Cohesion tension theory is a theory of the intermolecular attraction that explain the process of water flow upward against the gravity. And in this process, water is continuously lost through the transpiration from the lip. And due to the continuous transpiration, the gradient of suction pressure is developed right from the guard cell up to the xylem in the lip, and this will be create a tension in the xylem, and water column is pulled out of the xylem. Due to the create a tension in the xylem, water column is pulled out of the xylem, and water is pulled upward passively against the gravity, leading to ascent of sap. It is possible due to the continued transpiration of the gradient of suction pressure. Some limitation of the cohesion tension theory. First is for continued transpiration pull to operate, water column should be unbroken and continuous. But due to the temperature fluctuation during day and night, gas bubbles may enter in the water column and breaking the continuity of the transpiration pool. This is the first limitation of this theory. Second, this mechanism assumes that patches are more efficient than the vessel as their end wall support water column. This is the second limitation. Third limitation is if plant is smeared with a Vaseline. If plant smear with a Vaseline in order to stop transpiration, even then ascent of sap occurs. And last assumption, ascent of sap also occurs in deciduous plants that have shed all their leaves. These are the four limitations of the cohesion tension theory. So today we studied about the mechanism of absorption of water and the translocation of water. In mechanism of absorption of water, we studied about the passive absorption and active absorption. Passive absorption occurs due to the activity of shoot and leaf, and active absorption occurs due to the activity of root and root hairs. In active absorption, we also studied about the osmotic absorption and non-osmotic absorption. And in translocation of water, we studied about the definition of translocation of water and also different theories about the translocation of water. Thank you so much for attending my lecture. Thank you.